What if Stain was a UA teacher? This idea has been in my mind for a while, and I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna do it. Stain was in a dark alleyway, cutting off his nose when Queeby slid by, asking, "Well, are you going to join me?" He scoffed at her. "No, I don't think I will. I'll change the world in a different way. In a different universe, he would became the hero killer, Stain, killing a dozen heroes or so, just trying to make a point for this universe. He stand right in front of you. How did he get here? He has no idea. He thought he would get arrested when he walked in to the principal's office to meet Nezu for the application of becoming a teacher. But Nezu just smiled at him because he knew all well who Stain truly was and told him how he knew and figured it out. Well, he was going to get so arrested, but he just smiled like goddamn rodent. Just smiled as he said, "You're hired," Stain just blinked at him, confused. As Nezu explained, yes, he did have some rules. No killing, no injuring the students badly. And he would have to give up his vigilante life. He would have to either stay as a teacher or he could do a side job like becoming an underground hero. That would fit perfectly for his role. For the other teachers, he simply didn't care for them. If Stain hung out with any of them, he would psychoanalyze them to death. And he has a feeling that some of the teachers here at UA, he would almost murder or actually murder. So he decided to avoid them. Unfortunately, the places where he avoided them was in the Vits, which is where he met Aizawa. He didn't really know what to think of Aizawa's at. Besides, he was A-okay. The only thing he could disagree on Aizawa is that he expels students on the first day only to sometimes reevaluate them into the school. Like, what happens if the student is still pissed off at him just to allow him to re-enroll and then go murder him? But I'm guessing that's Aizawa, and he has his own ways of teaching students while he had his own. Oh, by the way, just to mention you guys, Stain's class 1A's teacher and Aizawa's class B's teacher. Vlad King can be just the counselor. I don't really care what Vlad King is doing. He thought today would be a normal day. Nothing would particularly happen until All Might was in the school conference room, and he just stared at him like, what was All Might doing at UA? Was there a villain attack? Did something happen to one of the teachers and All Might was slowly breaking it to them? He looked around. Everyone was there. So what was going on? As he stared at All Might, before he slowly realized that blush was creeping up to his cheek. And then he realized Nomori took a picture of it on her phone. Yes, I made these two sort of like, I don't know, frenemies or something. I just thought it would be funnier in the story. He glared at her, hoping she would delete the photo. Unfortunately, she just smugly looked at him as she sent it to Yamada Aizawa. Yamada having this giant grin as Aizawa just deadpan looked at him and was like, what the fuck's wrong with you? But he knew he was definitely going to judge him later. And not to die of embarrassment, he just stared at All Might more as he slowly watched smoke coming from him, wondering, was that normal? Until he turned into the skinny guy, blonde guy, who looked like he hadn't eaten in a decade. What the hell was going on? Now, before you all start panic, Nezu calmly said, this is still All Might, or as you guys will now know him, Yagi Toshinori. You see, 5 years ago, Toshinori was in a big accident with a big old bad villain he was fighting. And now his time limit of being All Might has severely diminished to 5 hours. To keep the peace that he's representing, he has decided to become a UA teacher. I expect you all to teach him with respect and just help him with the ropes. Understand? Good. Stain must have blinked for the millionth time. No, that does not make sense. None of this made any logical sense to him as he watched Yagi splurt out blood. Everything in Stain's back Jiro, that wasn't normal. Do you need me to get you a coffee goal or something? He asked him warningly. Yagi just laughed. No, this is just a side effect of my injury. Him showing the wound, which really looked like a flower to him. It's normal. I don't need recovery. Stain asked yet again, are you sure you don't want me to get recovery? Goal. I mean, she probably won't have blood on site, but she could probably call someone and get you a transfusion of blood. Yagi just shook his head. No, I'm fine, really. I'm used to it. Stain put a mental note in his head to tell Recovery Girl to get some packs of blood for just in case. Midoriya was hyped to finally get into UA as he walked into the classroom. What shocked him the most is that Kacchan was white pale as he was being yelled at by the same guy he was yelled at during the entrance exam. What was getting Kacchan to be pale white? That is when the guy realized Midoriya was at the wall. Midoriya smiled, hi, nice to see you. As Ito read up. Hi, I'm Tenyo Ida, Midoriya interrupted. Yes, I know already. I'm Izuku Midoriya. Yeah, Ito Emily on saying, oh, I'm sorry about the test. I completely thought you were worthless, or whatever he explained it as. Midoriya's like, no, it's fine, before he got interrupted by a familiar voice. Hey, it's a Fallen Boy! He turned around, seeing Taco, forgetting all about Kacchan's white face. Is like, oh, it's you. I'm so glad that you got into UA. I should probably thank you for telling the teachers about that. Ochako looking confused. What do you mean by that? As they did the usual conference, as students slowly piled in before Stain dropped from the ceiling to the ground, announcing, you guys are all dead besides Kacchan. Not one of you guys looked up besides him, realizing that I was on the ceiling. If this was a surprise attack, you guys would be 1,000% limbs apart. Everyone just gasped, being like, what the hell was he doing on the ceiling? Now, he pulled out a uniform. Everyone put this on. We're going out. They walked up to a field, realizing students were on there, Stain explaining, that's class B, and that is their homeroom teacher, Mr. Zawa. He's probably stricter than me. Ochako confused. So aren't we supposed to go to orientation? Stain stared at her. You want to go to orientation, where you do nothing for half of the day until you finally get to the middle day school day, and then you finally get to class. Ochako realizing her mistake. You know what? I really don't want to go to orientation anymore. Or Stain just smiled. As they got to the Stain apology. Sorry, Zod, I'm a little late. No one even realized I was on the ceiling besides Bucko. By the way, his first picture, that is when he was interrupted by a guy with purple balls. He remembered Minetto, one of his supposed to be students, but unfortunately he gave him to Zawa because he gave him the ick. No way! I was supposed to be in that class. Why did you send me here? Satan just heavily ignored him as he looked at Zawa. I choose Kendo. Kendo, Bakugo, he both gave them balls. See which way you guys can throw the foot. This is apparently Class A, Class B fitness test, but use your quirks on them. Everyone's seen what Kendo Bakugo do with the quirks with the ball, going super far, Bakugo going the furthest, whatever his score was in the anime. Someone from Class B, Monomo, it's like, oh, this looks like fun. Azar was staring, grinning at him. Fun, you think this is gonna look fun? Well, the person who does the least gets expelled. Class A looks at their teacher like, Stain just shrugs, like he was going to tell them. Now it was an actual test. Everyone trying the hardest. Midoriya is super worried because, like, he can't really do anything until he gets to the ball. Though he powers up to use his quirk when Azal stops him. He's like, hey, what happened to my quirk? And Stain answers, I asked Azal to stop your walk from hurting you. Midoriya turned around. It's like, wait a second, I know you. You're always a hero. Azal is pulling him on the scarf, telling him what he does in the usual anime, saying that his quirk's dangerous, that he's leaving himself as a liability, that he can't be a hero without his power. Stain decides that's a little bit harsher. He says, Azal is saying, it's the truth and you know it. Stain decides, knowing the back law of what happened to his dear friend, like he can change any of that. Azal would tell Midoriya if he was in his class, he would expel him because he's not doing enough. Midoriya is staring at the ball, wondering what he could do, as he realized that he didn't have to use all his powers on the ball. He could use a single finger as he flings it in the air, just one injured finger. Stain and All Might just smiled at him. As the rest of the thing happened, no one got expelled. Azal was just admitting that it was just a logical ruse, as even Class A got freaked out because Stain said nothing. He didn't help out at all. Well, that's just part 1. If you want part 2, leave a comment, and also like, comment, subscribe to the video, turn on your notifications so you know the next time I post, and have a goddamn good day.